Thank you so much, Suzanne. It's so true. This is such a great focus to look towards our health. And a lot of us are walking around having no idea whatsoever what our numbers are. That being blood pressure, most important numbers we need to know. It's called the silent killer for a reason because there are no symptoms. We've got the most incredible blood pressure monitor from Veridian. First of all, big and bold and beautiful. We've got the red, we've got green. This is gonna give you all the information that you need, and you can take that to your doctor. And then share that information because it does have lots of memory. It'll hold 120 readings for 2 different people. It comes with the case, and it's a holiday price of under $30, also on 2 Flex. So when you think about the importance of knowing that number and then being able to bring that information to your doctor, who can then maybe prescribe something that's gonna help either monitor or lower that number, because that's the goal, isn't it? So we're gonna get into the details. The item for you to start ordering now, and I do hope you can order it early. We don't have as many as we typically do, 457-858. The blood pressure monitor is something that my guest, Matthew Peters, who is a healthcare professional, has worked as an RN in the emergency room environment for much of your career. You've seen it all, and I know you would agree, the most important thing we need to know about our health is blood pressure.
Blood pressure, vital signs, they call them vital signs for a reason. Yeah. Excuse me, and you saw just there, you can take your blood pressure, get clinically accurate readings in the comfort of your own home. Veridian has the best blood pressure monitor for home use that I've seen because it's clinically accurate, okay? It has a brilliant LCD display that really pops and lights up so you don't have to struggle to see what your reading it is. It has a hypertension indicator so you don't have to worry about interpreting your readings, right? And if I turn this memory button on right here, we can see, you know, we have an average of the last 3 readings on here, and look at that display. Over here, I love this, the hypertension indicator tells you if you're in the green, which is good, or if you're running a little bit high, because we know 120/80 is typically what we consider normal blood pressure. This is also gonna give you your heart rate. It's gonna let you know if you have an irregular heartbeat that is detected. And like you said, Callie, this is gonna hold up to 60 readings in memory for up to 2 users. So you can actually share this with a spouse or loved one right at home.
Yeah, exactly. And I highly recommend get this for somebody if you have a worry or a concern. Maybe you know your blood pressure and you're taking good charge of your life, but maybe mom and dad aren't. Maybe grandma and grandpa aren't. Maybe it's a son or daughter, because it doesn't matter age. It doesn't even have to be a genetic thing that we carry in our family. It can be you just being the black sheep of the family, and you're the random person with that high blood pressure. It can be deadly. And don't say that to scare you. You know that's the truth. And I also know that when you walk into a doctor's office, you freak out a little bit and your heart rate tends to be a little higher than normal. So does your blood pressure, because that's called the white coat syndrome. You're like, I hope I don't have any bad news here today, right? So to have readings that are done at home when you're relaxed and in your environment are the best readings to know.
Folks, you need to know what's going on, and I'm gonna demonstrate this and how easy it is to use. Callie, you're not even out of breath and you've been exercising for the last, what, 40 minutes?
Yeah.
So with exercise and a healthy lifestyle, you need to know what's going on inside your body. So like she said, blood pressure oftentimes comes with no signs and symptoms. What I'm gonna do is show everybody, this has a latex-free preformed cuff. So if you have any latex sensitivity, you're not gonna have to worry about that. All we're gonna do is wrap this around your wrist. It's gonna fit a variety of wrist sizes, nice and snug, and 1 button just to get us started. Now with any wrist monitor, you wanna have it here at heart level. So she has this nice little triangle here. That's gonna make sure that your blood pressure monitor is not fighting against gravity, so you can actually look for those clinically accurate readings. And while this is going, these statistics are startling. So at home, think about this. If you have a loved one that has had a heart attack or stroke or has high blood pressure, if this runs in your family, just look at this, you're not alone. 1 in 3 adults, that's 75 million Americans, has high blood pressure, okay? Only about half of those, or you at home, have that under control with either diet, exercise, medication, things like that. Another 1 in 3, or an additional 75 million Americans, has what we call pre-hypertension. So that means you're running high blood pressure all the time. You just don't know it yet. So what this is doing here, $46 billion a year, that's with a B, that it's costing the country. So you at home, we're talking about, you know, lost wages, medical bills, medications, health insurance is crazy now. So the health insurance premiums and things like that. But you're really losing out on your quality of life, and it can be a scary situation. Just by knowing the numbers, we can prevent a lot of these really terrible consequences.
What do you think of my number?
I'm looking at it right now. Well, what do I think about it? What does the hypertension indicator think about it? Let me turn this around.
Okay.
All right. So here's Callie's reading. She has 146 systolic over 88 diastolic. Her heart rate is 87. So, you know, if you're at home and you say, what does 146 over 88 mean? Over here is this hypertension indicator. You're running right in the middle range, so that's yellow. Now, let me turn this back on. And you notice the first reading is not Callie's because it averages the last three, because the point.
Oh, that's a good point.
It is, because blood pressure is a dynamic thing. It's going to change. Every time you take your blood pressure normally, you're going to get a different reading because it changes all the time. So she's been working out, you know, on the X bike for the last 40 minutes. So this is not that abnormal to have a little bit higher blood pressure right after a workout. That's why you might want to check it every day at the same time in the morning before you have coffee, you know, any sort of stimulants, of course, and while you're nice and relaxed. So 87 heart rate, it's going to time and date stamp everything for up to 60 of those readings in your memory bank, okay? And if she had an irregular heartbeat that was detected, it would show up right here. So it's invaluable to have that 60 reading memory bank. You know, you see this right here. We're actually taking your blood pressure in the comfort of your own home. Just get up, be comfortable. You know, you don't have to worry about somebody peering over your shoulder.
Right.
You know, and look at this. She can just look at her blood pressure reading. She can trust the result from Veridian because it's clinically accurate. So, and see, she's got a good reading. She's comfortable. She goes on about her day. It's ultra portable, so it fits in with this active lifestyle. All right, you can take it anywhere, and it's so discreet. Because the worst thing is when we have that white coat syndrome and we're at the doctor's office and we're always worried what's coming up next.
Oh, this happened to a friend of mine who just went through a bunch of oral surgery, and he's sitting in the dentist chair, had to get some impressions taken, and they were going to schedule like surgery. So they took his blood pressure to see how he was, and it was sky high. And he was like, what? Because he knew he doesn't have high blood pressure. They took it 4 times. It was different every time, but because he was in that environment, it was high every time. So he freaked out, left thinking, oh my gosh, I need to be on blood pressure medication. Well, guess what? Because I had this at home, I let him use it, and I said, monitor it, like you said, Matthew, at this kind of the same time for a couple of days in a row when you're in your own environment. And sure enough, he has totally normal blood pressure. It was just that situation he was in. He was so stressed out.
Well, if you are stressed out, think about it. You're going to have a high blood pressure reading. And at home, let's talk about medications for a minute, because if you take blood pressure medication to regulate that blood pressure, or a loved one does, what is one of the biggest things that you notice? You can't get out of your own way. Maybe you're sluggish, you're tired all the time. That's normal. It just means that, you know, maybe your dose is a little bit high, because a lot of times when we show up at the doctor's office and we have that really high reading because of the white coat syndrome, a lot of times your physician might calibrate that dose of your blood pressure medication based on that reading alone. So if you have 60 readings or 2 months worth of readings to bring to your doctor, they might be able to adjust that dose.
It helps them be able to, you know, help you. And you're right, adjust the dose, or you know what, it could be as simple as just changing your diet a little bit. You know, getting a little exercise. I mean, there's a lot of really natural, holistic ways to try to monitor it too, besides just the obvious, like, it drives me crazy, the billions of dollars that the pharmaceutical, that's another subject, that's another show. Right now, we're here to talk about blood pressure, and I love that you guys can just do this, again, so comfortably. Look at how it fits pretty much anybody.
Now it's a preformed cup, so it's gonna fit a variety of sizes. And you see how easy that was to take your own blood pressure. You know, obviously you're talking, normally we'd be sitting down for at least 2 to 5 minutes, stay nice and relaxed, but look at the reading, okay? So again, the wealth of information that you have here. We have your systolic over diastolic, so 164 over 71. And again, you wonder what that means? Right here, we have that hypertension indicator, a high blood pressure indicator. It lets us know that you're, again, right in the yellow. That 164 is a little bit on the high side. But again, Callie. For
sure, for me.
Yeah, and you're talking, we're on live television. I give you a lot of credit here.
Oh, thank you.
Your heart rate is nice and relaxed at 84, and again, time and date stamped. So, you know, this gives us so much information, and it looks like, just to show everybody here, it looks like it actually did detect a little bit of an irregular heartbeat on that. Okay, what does that mean? Not necessarily anything bad. where our heart might skip a beat if we have an extra cup of coffee in the morning or something like that. It could be perfectly normal. But if it happens on a regular basis, that's why a clinically accurate device like this is so important, because if you have that popping up on a regular basis, then your doctor may want to know about that and may have something that they want to, look into it a little bit further.
Well, I know for sure I'm not normal. I'm very abnormal, but I've never seen that occur before. So you're right, like if that shows up, you can talk to your doctor about it and be a little more proactive. And I know, it's like ignorance is bliss sometimes, but I don't want anybody walking around not knowing what your numbers are, because it is something that literally impacts our lives. It's a life or death thing to know about your number, because if it's high, do something about it, or if it's for your mom. I mean, I remember, I buried my mom 5 years ago today. And she died way too young. And I feel a little guilt about it sometimes, but I did a lot to help her once we realized there was an issue. And blood pressure was a big part of the medical condition that was, that ended up taking her down ultimately, which is, I don't even want to go there anymore because she's an amazing woman and impacts my life still every day. But it's something that I just know you feel good when you can give somebody knowledge, medical knowledge, or help them take a little bit better care of themselves because of something as simple as knowing your blood pressure, knowing what those numbers are.
And you know what, we all want to do all we can, and I'm sorry to hear about your mom, Kelly, and my mom too actually has suffered from high blood pressure. She had a heart attack not too many years ago, and it really snuck up on us because she's an active lady. Again, she's the head of the household, active lady, and it snuck up on us. And luckily, she's okay now. She's okay today. But the takeaway from that situation was her doctor said, you really need to know what's going on. You need to check your blood pressure on a regular basis. She struggles with that medication balance, and lately she's had to, work with her doctor to recalibrate that dose because she was a little tired, a little sluggish. Her blood pressure was running low, but